Hi guys, I thought I'd do a follow-up video now that I'm home, just as I was telling you about the OPKs I do that are really, really cheap, and they look like this. You get 5 of those for £1, and you're meant to start, if you've got a 28-day cycle, it's good to start testing on the 11th day of ovulation, and you count day 1 as your first day of your period. So most periods are 3 to 5 days, so you come on and you start counting like so on and so forth. So as I said to you before, I don't really need to do these, I don't feel, because I'm quite in control of my body. I'm really lucky, but I'm doing them just for the fun of it and also just interest, really. So these are ovulation sticks, and what they're doing is they're testing a hormone in your body, luteinizing hormone, which apparently is when you are, your eggs are, your ovaries are stimulating eggs. So I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, please don't say I've pronounced it wrong or anything. It's just testing it says here it's testing the LH in your urine. So it's a hormone, and that's what they said on the internet. It's luteinizing. So it's like the I think it's the luteinizing phase they call when it releases your egg. So yeah, so I'm going to do that in a second. I've peed in a little disposable bowl there, and they do say with this it's better to use afternoon urine. So I'm expecting this to be a negative result, because as I said to you, I had a really dark line 2 days ago, and I'm on day 16 now of my cycle. But it'll just show you what you can do, and I'm sure you can get much better ovulation sticks than this. I know that you can get ones that you plug it if you do have trouble detecting your cycle or trouble conceiving or fertility problems. I know you can get the ones, my friend has one, and you actually put the stick in a plug and it tells you when you're ovulating. It's much more difficult than this one. Hello! My little baby's just come out to see what I'm doing. So we're going to do that in a second. Hello! Are you coming to see me? Oh, goodness. You see yourself on camera. Look. So mummy's going to do that. And that is a clear and simple test. And I got this at I got this at Wilkinson's, which is a bit like a drugstore where you can get cleaning products and household stuff, beauty, a bit like a massive chemist really, but you can also get crockery and things like that as well. So I got them there, but you can get very similar at the pound shop. And they're called First View. That's the pregnancy test I'm going to be doing. Also, I'm expecting these to both be negative, because my husband and I have not agreed to a baby. We've not been properly trying for a baby. I'm only on day 16 of the cycle, which would be 2 days after ovulation. And if you've looked at my videos prior to this, I tested, I think, 6 days after ovulation, and there was absolutely zero. And I only showed a faint line with this little munchkin at 9 DPO, and that was a very faint line, I think. So, hang on, should we do this? So this is the ovulation, the OPK I was saying. So it's a very simple little bit of paper like that, and you dip it in and you count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give it a little swim as well. Right, so that's there, and you lay that flat. I'm going to put it on the kitchen sink so that it doesn't get onto our worktops. Right, and this one, whilst we're waiting, is a pregnancy test. And again, you get 5 for £1. Hang on, let's do this. And this is, you dip it to the control line again. And this is testing HCG hormone in your body. And it's a hormone that's released as soon as your egg is implanted. And it comes from the placenta, apparently. I was going to try and pronounce it. But I sound absolutely, sorry, she's just having a feed, so I don't usually feed her in the day. This is completely going against the grain. She usually just has a quick feed at 6 o'clock, and sometimes I go with the flow. Anyway, sorry, she grabbed my hair. So this is testing, the pregnancy one, HCG in your urine. It's best to test a day after your period. So I would be due on the 8th of September, and if I was at all suspecting that I was pregnant, I would probably test a couple of days beforehand, because I'd be eager, and then I would test after. But I'm expecting this to be completely negative, but it's just to show you. And that is testing the human chronic, oh my goodness, gonadotropin. So the human chronic gonadotropin hormone, which is the hormone that is stimulated from the placenta, and that is your pregnancy test. So I've done one of these before when I was actually pregnant, and loads before. So you count 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, that'll do. So there you go. I've tested up to the line, and you can see this is a green test, by the way, and it says HCG on it. You'll never get muddled up because one, I'm going to just show you now. Sorry. One, as you can see, says HCG and it's green, and one says LH, and that's the initials of the actual hormone. And straight away I can see that the dark line's coming up to say that I've tested correctly on the HCG, which is great. And the LH hormone, it's coming up nice and dark. And I think there's a very, very, very super faint line next to it. But you have to, funnily enough, the pregnancy test says do not read after 10 minutes on the instructions. You've got to like wait your 3-minute wait, and then once you've read it, you've read it, because if you see a line after 10 minutes, it can be what they call like a water evaporation line. And some people get waylaid when they're doing a test, and they go back to it in 15, 20 minutes and it's a faint line and they think that they're pregnant, and really it's a negative, but that can be an evaporation line. So really discard your test if you've waited over the 10 minutes for a pregnancy test, and buy another one or do another one. Or if you still think you're pregnant, buy a better one than this rubbish, because these are just, I reckon, for a bit of fun, or if you just want a guide really. So I've waited probably about 1.5 minutes now by my clock, and that is a BFN, big fat negative, which I expected, which, do you know what I mean? Even if miraculously I was pregnant, I wouldn't even be 3 days, 4 days. So can you see how dark that control line is? That is what they're like. Sorry if that's upside down. So that is done and dusted. Okay. This one, yeah, very, very, that, don't get mistaken, that is a crease of the paper. That isn't a line. But if I go like this, that's better. Next to it, can you see just there in the middle, there's a very faint line, which is perfect really, because I'm on day 16. I feel I am ovulating day 14, and if it's a 29-day cycle, day 14 to 15, and I'm on 16 now. So probably it's a very faint line. It would be absolutely a miracle if I got pregnant now, because a really strong, you really only get a window, I think they say it's 72 hours that you get chance to get pregnant, and that's it. It's a 72-hour gap. So really, I think you've got to try, I'd try really day 12, 13, 14 if I wanted to get pregnant. I think my cut-off point would have been yesterday. So I don't think I could get pregnant on that faint line anyway. But do you see what I mean, how easy they are? So I hope that was fun for you. It was fun for me, but they are, to me, I'd say that's, if you get that faint line on day testing at a day, I'd say that's either a day after your ovulation or probably a day before, in my opinion. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.